it's basically 120 right now. I know, and I have to study a lot of topics. I don't know how I'll do it, but let's just lay out stuff. Types of explosion, right? Let's just watch in YouTube how we do that for it. You have to be very careful in terms of how you sort of approach your bullshit in terms of studying. Therefore, I have to lay down what I have to do, right? There's one more image that is required. So yeah, let's just start with what I'm going to do, what I could do. Classification, metal, cold warming, hot warming, material behavior, and average flow stress, ये कर दिया हमने. Like I've completed all these things. Rolling में I have to finish rolling. Rolling में क्या करना है? Read the material. Watch the read the material. Watch the process. Write the points. There you go. That's it. For rolling after that, numerical problems तो नहीं करना basically. Loading friction, definition. Write the points. Read the material. Watch the process. Write the points. Similarly, forging. Forging में I guess I'm gonna do the same thing. And इसमें rolling भी है. I don't know. There's types of rolling. Flat rolling process, various configurations of rolling mill, dark rolling, reduction ratio, forward. Reduction ratio means like, I don't know, something related to the effect of sticking on coefficient and stuff like that. Types, read the material. Types of forging. Types of extrusion. So yeah, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 130 OR. I should complete this part extrusion first so that I get more हो जाएगा. Numerical problem is not going to rolling, forging, extrusion ये तीनों कर देंगे. So the best bet I had was watching these videos to understand what actually is going on in extrusion. But then I suppose I have to like read the material first. That's the best part. That's the best thing I can do is to just read the material and understand what is going on. But then एक map बनाना है. मेरे दिमाग में एक map बनेगा तो it will be easier for me to remember stuff. So what is the right approach? Okay, first let me just read the material. Extrusion is a metal working. Okay, I'll just read the material. Right? Why not just give it a shot? Extrusion is a metal working process in which cross section of metal is reduced by forcing the metal through a die orifice under high pressure. It is used to produce cylindrical bars loops and sections appear everywhere with regular or irregular type. What is required to extrude metal? What is required to extrude a metal are quite high, and hence not and hence not extrusion is the most widely done as deformation resistance of widely done as deformation resistance of metal is low, as deformation resistance of metal is low at high temperature. Deformation resistance of metal is low at high temperature. Hard है however cold extrusion also performs soft metals like aluminum and lead. उससे बोला था about कि rate at which the metals are जैसे rate के बारे में बात कर रहा था ना rate at which however difficult to perform metals like stainless steel, nickel-based alloys. Stainless steels, nickel-based alloys, and high temperature metals can also be extruded. Difficult to form metals like the process can be like the process like squeezing toothpaste out of the toothpaste tube. Advantages of modern extrusion process. Variety of shapes and possible of extrusion with hard extrusion. Grain structure and strength of layer enhanced in cold non-extrusion. Fairly close problems as possible are possible, especially in cold extrusion. Since an extrusion operation little to no wasted material is created. Metal forming में the whole point is basically कि कोई wastage नहीं रहता metal का. There are various ways to classify. Various ways to classify. Various to classify extrusion based on physical configuration, direct or indirect, forward or backward. Based on working at temperature, cold, warm, and hot. Direct extrusion based on physical configuration, direct extrusion. It is also known as forward extrusion. The metal billet is loaded into a container and ran forcing the metal to flow through one or more opening die and drop it into the container. What? As ram approaches the die, some reaches the direct extrusion. Both ram and extrusion move in the same direction. A dummy block is created in contact with the ram. Okay. A metal billet is loaded into a container. Loaded into a container. A ram compresses the material, forcing the metal to flow through one opening die and deposited in the container. As the ram approaches the die, a small portion of the billet remains and cannot be forced through the die opening. This extra portion is called the butt. As the ram approaches the die, a small portion of billet remains that cannot be forced through the die opening. It's called the butt. To separate from the product by cutting it beyond the exit. Okay. One of the problems in die extrusion is the significant friction that exists between the butt surface and the walls of the container as the billet is forced to slide through the die opening. That's an important point. One of the problems in direct extrusion is the significant friction. Okay, the friction causes a substantial increase in the ramp power required in direct extrusion. In hot extrusion, the friction problem is aggravated by the presence of oxide layer on the surface of the billet. The oxide layer can cause defects in the extruded product. Friction that exists. Hot extrusion. The problems in direct extrusion is aggravated. The oxide layer will cause defects in the extruded product. To solve this problem, the dummy block is the diameter of the dummy block is slightly smaller than the billet diameter, so the narrow ring is left in the container, leaving the final product free of oxides. Okay, सबको solve करने के लिए please solve these kind of things. Okay, figure out whatever. The process is also used to the process. This process is also used to produce hollow sections. And this is direct extrusion. The two things that will happen. Direct extrusion. Say one is hollow section, which will produce semi-hollow section. But semi-hollow section is basically C-type shape. Yeah, I got it. Like these kinds of things. Like this is semi-hollow. This is hollow. This process is also used to produce hollow sections where starting billet is prepared with a hole. This allows the passage of mandrel. This attached to the dummy block. Mandrel. Mandrel. Okay. When it is attached to the dummy block, figure shows up producing hollow section. Semi-hollow sections are also used the same way. Direct extrusion. The relative motion between billet and container wall develops high friction, hence the power required is relatively the same चीज़ repeat मार रहा है. Brittle metals like tungsten, titanium alloys and are difficult texture because of friction. Fracture because of the fracture that is not possible to take place. For fracture की बात है सर because of the fracture. Different lower temperature, high lower melting temperature. Brittle metals. Why is it brittle? What does brittle metal have to do with it? Okay, let's just ask it so that I can somehow get it cleared. Oh, it is a wave model, right? Never mind, I'll not ask it. Indirect extrusion. In indirect extrusion or backward extrusion, reverse extrusion, the material flows in the direction opposite to the motion of the ram to produce a solid. The material flows, okay, it's like, okay, this is work billet. Final workpiece shape. Indirect extrusion or backward extrusion, material flows in the direction opposite to the motion of the ram to produce a solid. This die is mounted to the ram rather than the opposite end of the container. A ram, as the ram moves, the metal is forced to flow over. Here is the advantage. Since the billet is not moved over, advantage is better. Advantage of indirect extrusion. Wait, इसमें advantage of direct extrusion तो बताया नहीं मेरे को. बताया क्या कोई? मैंने बताया advantage and disadvantage of indirect extrusion. Lesser friction compared to direct extrusion. Hence, friction is lower, the power required is less, higher accuracy, good variant structure, enhances mechanical efficiency. This is lower heat is developed. Chamber has more life from the exterior. Due to the less power pressure, the bullet can be affect the surface of the bullet can affect the surface of the extrusion. Oh, okay, got it. Extrusion length depends on the length of the stem. The surface of the bullet can be badly affected. Okay, got it. अभी हम बात करेंगे hot versus cold extrusion. So this is basically another type of shit that we're supposed to talk about. Like indirect physical configuration is one, the based on working temperature, cold or hot, right? We're going to start with hot versus cold extrusion. Extrusion may be performed either hot or cold depending on the work material and the amount of strain will be subjected to in the deformation. Materials that are quickly extruded hot or extruded aluminum, zinc, these same materials are sometimes extruded cold. Steel alloys are usually extruded hot, although softer and more ductile goods grades are sometimes cold extruded. Blue carbon steel, stainless steel, Aluminum is probably the most ideal metal for extrusion, and many cars will produce a hot extrusion. Okay, why the fuck do I? What the fuck is this? Hot versus cold why नहीं यहाँ पे extrusion देखा जाता है? I think I should sleep at this point. My whole goal was supposed to complete this shit before sleeping, but then I doubt I will do it. Laser welding करने का चाहिए. बस वो एक ही करके जाऊँगा. Laser बड़ी सारी जगह आज तक laser welding. कल अरे एक एक करके काम तो कंप्लीट हो जाएगा तो देखते हैं. I like it finish off the stuff. Sometimes coding of billet is contact area isomer extrusion. What? Hot extrusion. Involves tire heating with a billet to temperature. Billet माने जो चीज कर रहा है temperature about utilization temperature. This reduces the strength and increases the ductility of the metal, permitting more extreme size and reductions in more complex shapes to be achieved. Additional advantages include reduction of ram force, increasing ram speed, reduction of grain flow, reduction of the grain flow characteristics in the fan product. Grain flow तो बढ़ जाएगा ना अगर cooling of the billet as it contacts the container walls is a problem, and isothermal extrusion is sometimes used to overcome this problem. Cooling of the billet is a main problem as lubrication is critical. Lubrication is critical in hot extrusion for certain metal sheets, especially lubricants and have developed. They are effective under harsh conditions in hot extrusion. Glass is sometimes used as lubricant in hot extrusion. Glass, okay. Cold extrusion. Cold extrusion and warm extrusion are generally used to produce discrete parts, often in finished. I can't read it, I'm not able to focus. Diangle on the ram force. Extrusion force and temperature ranges. I think I'm done with extrusion pretty much. So I can remove this. Read the material तो कर दिया भाई मैंने. Types of extrusion भी कर दिया. Okay, yeah. So what's the process? I think I already watched the process. Write the points. I was supposed to write it. I think I'm going to sleep now because I thought I would complete stuff, but I didn't get in a position to do it.